the Inhumans are well, they've been treated like Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness.
So they 6 feet under? Okay.
Yeah. So for everybody, if you haven't seen it, don't worry about it, because Marvel.com literally at 6 a.m. when the final episode of Ms. Marvel dropped, published 2 interviews, one with Ms. Marvel herself and one with the producer and the directors. And they were literally like, yeah, so mutants. Yup, we chose to use the word here. Yup, that's the X-Men theme that plays during Ms. Marvel. Yup, it is what you think it is. And it was like, oh, you guys are not holding back on this, because they knew the internet was going to explode. Like, they knew what was coming. Yeah. So, I guess I kind of, we talked about this a little in our audio commentary, so I'll start first and I'll pass it around and everybody can give their thoughts on it, then we'll get the conversation going. You know, everybody joked about it for years, being like, just watch. What if they make Ms. Marvel some sort of proto-mutant or a mutant in the MCU? Wouldn't that be funny? And then you get the Inhumans in Multiverse of Madness, you're like, well, I don't know. And then they even lean into, like, the Cocoon aspect that looks like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, like, almost Terrigenesis. You're like, Inhumans are going to happen, right? And then they're like, no, here's the X-Men theme. Then when they drop the word mutant in relation to Kamala, and you're just like, I literally felt like, I don't know how to, I already felt like I got punched in the stomach real hard, and then they were like, it's okay, it's still a good show, but they kept punching me. Like, it was a little rough.
It's like all the air suddenly got sucked out of the room.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It was a thing. Mitch, I know you were talking about it, obviously, during our audio commentary, so what's your feelings on this?
I'm at the point where I've stopped caring. I just don't care about Ms. Marvel anymore. It's that bad.
He went numb now.
Yeah, I literally, I've just gone past that point. Like, you know, Bishop K. Alley, who I think she's the head writer on the show, just like, yeah, we wanted a way for her to have an inherited power without her family having powers. So yeah, mutants were the right time for this. It's like, that's literally what she had in the beginning anyway, as an Inhuman. So you have zero reason for this change. That's if it actually, this is where the cocktail of hopium and copium comes in.
I think it's running out at this point.
There is that part from the original run where she thinks she's a mutant and then they tell her no, she's not. So maybe, like, because why would Bruno know, right? Why would he be absolutely the voice of reason on this one?
I mean, so, he did give the reasoning to her lineage that none of her parents.
But that's exactly the same as how it is in the original run, where she's in the human anyway.
Yeah.
Just because she's one doesn't mean that they all are.
And there's still the Kree connection, like the whole Kree thing to me. Connection. That's the one to me that holds it back. So it's like they found the Kree arm with the bangle and clearly experimentation. Like
I think currently people are theorizing that the band that Kamala has is the Mega Bands.
Yeah,
which is dumb as hell.
Yeah,
because like, if that's the case, then, you know, there's the whole connection to the 10 Rings with Shang-Chi. That's like, cool. If they're the Nega Bands, then you've just taken 3 characters and decided one's not, like, one whole thing's not good enough. Like, what's the point in that?
Yeah, because like that's why I was putting out the joke instead of what usually happens is that I said, wouldn't it be funny if instead they made the Kree experimented and make the mutants instead. So
I think honestly that seems to be like what they could do.
Yeah, that's the one.
So if that is the case, and that's just even worse. Yeah, like sure, take the Inhumans out of it. I get it. The show tanked. People don't like Inhumans. Whatever. I can eventually live with that. But why just give literally everything from them to the mutants? It makes no sense.
See,
because they're not mutants at that point.
I don't. The only reason is money. That's literally the only thing.
Yeah. But is it money?
Yeah.
What do they gain from it?
People want mutants.
Yeah, but people, you can give them mutants without being like, right, cool, we're gonna change literally everything about mutants. Like, why?
Is it safe to say that the Inhumans are getting the same treatment that Green Lantern's been getting from DC for years?
Well, kind of. Yeah.
That it said like you're just going to be in timeout indefinitely
Yeah.
until we
That's what it
decide we're no
feels like.
longer upset with you.
I like that.
Even though we've taken and run with other IPs that have tanked and have done abysmally, we're going to keep you specifically in timeout with very, 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 very little lip service whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then you have the Fantastic Four right there, and it's just like, no, shush, child, you didn't do anything wrong. We'll give you a 5th reboot. It's fine.
Yeah, it's weird. It's because like since the early 2000s, before they had this like line wide, I want to say like mandate where they had to put mutants in the Fantastic Four on ice because they didn't want to give Fox any free publicity.
There are certain YouTubers out there. You think the YouTubers were only made in the 2010s because Google's hard.
Yeah, and they give free publicity and all that stuff. So they put them, and they tried to prop up Inhumans as the next best thing, and it was a give and go. And not thanks to the horrible show. Apparently, for the casual audience, Inhumans tanked. So that's when I guess the minds at Marvel Studios decided, let's bring back the Fantastic Four and mutants.
I mean,
because they worked in the 90s, they'll work now.
I think you give it a couple more years far enough removed that you're going to go back to Inhumans at some point. Like, I still feel, because, the whole Doctor Strange, the incursion events, they already said the old universe that's affected by Wanda, things are going to go wrong. I feel like Doctor Strange 3, they're probably going back to that universe, and we're going to end up seeing, like, Medusa instead of Black Bolt, because they got to literally pick up the pieces where they left off, because that whole world was screwed up and something's going to happen. Like, I think in a couple years, you're going to bring them back. Just, it was not
There's
here.
multiple rumors that the universe and the humans are in the Marvels, which is literally next year. Now, that could include Medusa and Black Bolt. We can make a slight change there that they're not on the moon, they are out. Or they're on a moon, just not ours.
That would be good.
And you do it that way. That's if that rumor is true. We don't know.
That should be true. Because that would actually fit.
True. I want Black Bolt's harem. No, I want his 1,000 different wives from each species. No.
Now, I want to ask Nick here now. Nick, you're the youngest member here. You grew up watching some of these films. Like, X-Men were still, part of your childhood as well, just like the Spider-Man films. So, like, how do you feel about this, knowing that mutants get this and nothing on Inhuman Love?
I am really upset. Like, when I saw the episode, I was like, come on, Bruno, just say Inhumans.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it's almost like that you're just say Inhumans, just say Inhumans. It's a mutation. Like, God damn it. And then
in fairness, in the context of the show, why would he know that word?
Yeah.
Well, you could say it's almost inhuman.
Yeah. Something.
He could have said that.
This isn't the CW, though. I know you're used to that sort of level of writing, but this isn't that.
I'm just a little bit upset that that they changed Ms.Marvel just for like a way to just like introduce, the mutants.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair about that, they changed a lot about Ms.Marvel in the show.
Oh yeah,
so.
but
I mean, have they? Apart from the power set, like she's still that's Kamala.
I will say, even though I've not finished yet, I am surprised at how quickly I've been able to warm up to the power change. Like, I still don't like it. And I think that the allegory for puberty and growing up is still kind of lost here. I do think they traded it for a different allegory about cultural acceptance and a much broader topic that me, a white man, is not exactly geared to have articulated. I am surprised at how much I've kind of accepted the power change for now, and have kind of eased into, okay, I can dig it. It's functionally the same, plus the constructs. Yeah. I've slowly warmed up to it.
Me,
I don't love it yet.
Ugly.
I had the aspect of early on I was kind of grumble. I wish they kept the powers. The polymorph thing in the comic was played off as she's not comfortable with it because it's ugly. I was hoping they would do that, but when I ended up seeing a major part of my family who's still very religious and Muslim all end up talking about Marvel on social media for the first time I've ever seen them. and they're all talking about Ms. Marvel specifically sharing and being like, you guys should all watch this. And then other people that have never seen anything Marvel or don't care replying saying, oh, they're going to check it out because it's representation. I was like, you know what? Maybe the show did something that even me, I couldn't process through my head, but just see so many people grasp onto. I was like, I can take a step back and go, it ain't comic accurate from the power perspective and standpoint, but look at what it's doing for a whole group of people. It's so, to me, that kind of won me over, even though I'm still like, it is what it is with these changes. I think most people, in regards to the whole Inhuman thing, though, how they focus on it is, even when they drop the line, oh, there's like a mutation, right? Bruno mentions it. There was still that hope that somebody had. But then when they played the X-Men theme, that was it, right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's the X-Men theme. You just played with Professor X as well. And I think that did many people in. And I've even seen some people now kind of go back to that, be like, this isn't fair to Kamala. And I'm like, yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I understand it, and it's disappointing, but at the same time, I'm like, I understand what was done with Inhumans is almost, how do you repair that?
Yeah, that was the first Marvel show I ever watched.
Oh!
And then that's kind of what turned me away from like the other ones. I'm like, yeah, I'll just stick on the CW shows for now, and then I was like, I'm gonna get Netflix to watch Defenders.
What kind of an indictment is that? What kind of an indictment is that? Oh wow, that was rough. I'll stick to the CW.
Not
it's different times back then.
It's like you don't even know how the time crunch those writers on the CW have it, and that's why all the shows are oof.
Yeah.
Well, you see, this is when they were, at their, peak in quotation
Peak's
marks,
a
but
strong word.
Yeah, but yeah, like I saw in Inhumans, I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I'll get Netflix. And then, like a year or two later, I got it, and then I watched Daredevil. I'm like, why couldn't Inhumans be like this?
Yeah, good.
What went wrong? Exactly.
So
why couldn't they have writers?
I guess everybody's gonna have more time to sound off on Ms. Marvel. What's been said's been said. I don't know if anybody else has any other comments they want to mention or their thoughts personally or anything.
I just want to know, because we have... There's two sets of powers in this show, right? And they're identical to each other. So are all mutants going to be crystally?
Yeah.
Do they all need some kind of bangle to work? Because that's kind of...
Wolverine's going to have, like, crystal claws.
The thing about mutants is... It's either the powers come from, I guess trauma from puberty, or they activate when a certain event happens, or an item they come in contact with activates it. So there's either or.
I mean, look, Kevin Feige did say what they do with the mutants and X-Men is going to be completely different than anything we've seen before. So, I mean...
Yeah, but I think he's more referring to, hey, remember the X-Men cartoon? We're just going to do that.
Yeah.
We are just going to do the Claremont run. I think that's... And that's why they're using the 97 thing, right? The 92 thing, I should say. Like, they want people to think of that, and that's what mutants are going to be. But I don't know, maybe they are going to be other dimensional and extraterrestrial or whatever in this point, and it's going to be... No, depends how they handle it. If they jump straight into the Hickman run with this, I was going to try and take a crow with them, but my mouse stopped working. Then, fine, I guess, but...
Yeah.
I just want Magneto. I don't give a damn about the mainline X-Men. I just want my boy.
Agreed.
He's wrong.
He's right, actually. He's proven right.
Anyone who Scott Summers sides with is automatically wrong.
I can't remember who said it, but there was this very, very poignant, like, the comic book TikTok thing where somebody said something to the effect of, in no media going forward should Magneto ever be portrayed as a straight up villain ever again. And I was like, damn, I agree with this completely. Anti-hero only Magneto.
I mean, like, he isn't fully right, but he isn't fully wrong on some aspects.
Exactly. But like so much heinous stuff has happened in the world even since Magneto's creation as a character that, like, you can't say that he's wrong.
See,
I just want Magneto to be far away because I fear for Scarlet Witch at this point. They've already done me over with Ms. Marvel. I can't take that.
Oh, just you wait till Papa Mag shows up.
Yeah, he's like, you don't want Wanda to go say Papa.
I will literally join Geeks and Games. I will flip.
Mitch's thumbnails all gonna have the screaming woman kneeling on the street with the little teardrop.
It's gonna cover his mouth and have like the thumbs down.
I mean, look, changes are inevitable. I have to just see how they handle all this. We're obviously going to talk about some more stuff right after this topic. So when we know more, in a couple of weeks, they're obviously going to follow up with some pretty big interviews and things for Ms. Marvel. So we'll have more details. And
I'm going to be right back. Give me one moment. Keep going.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Overall, I'm looking at this whole Mutants MCU thing as sort of we got to get to it, because many people figured they're probably going to hold mutants off, besides like a couple mutants, up until a reboot, because they haven't been talking about them. And realistically, that was never going to happen, I don't think. Like, you can't hold off mutants till after Secret Wars or whatever. Like, that's another 15 years or like whatever. Like, it's going to be a while. You can't do that. So
I doubt it's 15 years away, but yeah.
It's however long it is. Yeah, that's true.
No, well, if it's TikTok, they'll say it's gonna be in like 4 years. So.
It's tomorrow.
If you listen to certain scoopers on
It's
Twitter,
today.
we're halfway through. No.
Yeah. So I guess that's that. So that's it for our Mutants in the MCU topic.